Okay, guys, I have a really important announcement. Are you ready? Okay. 1, 2, 3. I got new hair! So, yeah, here's the story. Let me tell you the story. So, not this Thursday, but last Thursday was the eve before Madison's birthday, right? And I was like, okay, I want new hair, new me. So I literally messaged my stylist like a couple hours before my appointment. And I'm like, girl, I need you to put me down because I cannot have crappy ass hair for my birthday. I dyed it black. I got some bangs. I had bangs for a really long time and then I got tired of them, and then I tried side bangs. Those are really cute for like a couple weeks, and then my hair grows out so fast that like the maintenance was just terrible. I just kind of look like emo Logan Paul after a little bit, and then so I just gave up with bangs, and then now I'm back in the circle of bangs. Wow, that did not sound right at all. Oh, God, wow. I don't know, I'm kind of going for like 2000s alt, maybe a little bit of Winona Ryder and Beetlejuice. Maybe a little bit of, what's her face? Mavis from Hotel Transylvania. The little vampire girl. I love her. If you compare me to her, thank you. But anyways, enough of me yapping about my hair. Let's get into the second episode of the Spiderweb. Hello and welcome to episode 2 of the Spiderweb with Madison ViOLETT. I'm your host, Madison, and I'm so excited to be here today because this is our first episode with an interview and we got a really cool feature, folks. So make sure you tune in to that. Well, folks, here on the Spiderweb, we catch you the best and newest independent artists who deserve the spotlight. In addition to the interview today, we got some really cool features as well. So today, we're going to listen to some great shit. We're going to have some great talks with some great people. But before we do that, we're going to do our weekly What's on Madison's Earbuds this week. Let's go. Let's take it away. If you guys can't already tell, I'm low-key sick as heck right now. So I apologize for any like raspiness or like stuffiness because I mean I know I hate listening to other people when they're stuffy, so I'm sorry I am subjecting you guys to this torture. At least I got like a cool rasp today. Like, oh my gosh, I sound like JoJo Siwa. Dream guest on my podcast? One of my exes. Okay, I'm less annoying than that.
Dream guest on my podcast? Oh my gosh. I mean, honestly, let's spice things up. One of my exes.
Oh, and in addition to that, in addition to my raspiness, we got rain outside. It is raining in Southern California, folks. That is something that you do not see every day. That is like a double rainbow right here from Los Angeles, dude. So it's gonna be like an ASMR day. We got my like gravelly voice, and then we got like the rain outside. So I hope you guys are into ASMR. Well, if you're listening to the Spiderweb, you're gonna have to deal with it whether you like it or not. So, sorry. All right, so if you guys didn't tune into the last episode and you don't know about what's on Madison's Earbuds this week, basically, we're gonna be looking at this fun little app called Earbuds. Not sponsored, I just really love the app. And basically, it's like Spotify Wrapped, but a Wrapped of your week. And you get to follow your friends as well, so you get to see what your friends are listening to. Like, if they're listening to like a really embarrassing song, I think it's really funny to like comment on them, but to be fair, they can see all the embarrassing songs I listen to. This one kind of went triple platinum in my household, so we're just not going to talk about that. That's the cool part about Earbuds. So anyways, I'm going to be talking about the music I've been listening to lately, and yeah, highlight the stuff that I think is super cool. Okay, I got my drumsticks so we can do the in real life drum roll again, but again, my parents are sleeping, so we're just gonna do it. Okay. Madison's Earbuds this week, we got The Sky, the Earth, and All Between by Architects. Yay! Alright, so this is a sick-ass album. I just love it. It's, again, a no-skip album, and I fell in love with it through the song called Black Hole. Really cool production. This is, like, the cornerstone of this album is it's really cool production, fusing, like, EDM and metalcore and deathcore. The vocalist, Sam Carter, is just an incredible vocalist, super versatile, got a great voice. He's British. Oh my gosh, awesome. And I actually discovered Architects through Spirit Box, and Spirit Box did a song with Sam Carter called Yellow Jacket, and that's a really, really cool song. Courtney and Sam's voice really meshed together really well. If you guys really like good modern metalcore mixed with that good EDM, I know last week I talked about Bring Me the Horizon. It's kind of similar vibes. This one's a little less EDM heavy, more focused on driving metal riffs and those heavy moments, but they're both great albums. So check out Sky, Earth, All Between by Architects. Yay! So before we get into our features of this week, we also got a segment called The Web Report. And at The Web Report, I talk about any cool things happening in the music industry that I think are worthy of mention. So let's see what The Web Report has for us today. Take it away, Web Report Madison.
Hello and welcome to The Web Report. I'm Madison, your host, and today we're going to be talking about some cool things in music. And, okay, up first, you guys are going to call me chronically online for this. Okay, but I need to get this out of my head, and I'm hoping to pass the infection on to you. But do you guys know the "she gonna call me baby boo" trend? Okay, if you don't, you have been saved. If not, I'm going to subject you to what I've been going through lately. But basically, there's this song called Baby Boo, and people have been like putting it in other songs. Oh my god. Do you guys know that freaking song by Zara Larsson, the one who did Lush Life and Symphony? I just wanna be part of you. Yeah, that one. She came out with a new song called Midnight Sun, and in the midnight sun kiss get a little. Okay, I'm sorry for the reenactment. I'm gonna play Midnight Sun X Baby Boo. So yeah, this is basically what's been haunting me for like the past week, and I'll throw in some honorable mentions as well. Okay, please. Okay, enough of that. We're moving on to the good stuff. So not this week, but last weekend, it was the Super Bowl, and we got another halftime performance, which was awesome. So I know I also talked a little bit about Bad Bunny last week, because I was also talking about the Grammys, and he won 2 Grammys. I personally don't listen to too much rap and hip-hop and clubbing music, that kind of stuff that he makes. But hey, I watched the halftime show. I thought it was great. I'm just going to leave this right here. Dude, way to use your platform. That's incredible. Oh, and also, we also talked about Lady Gaga last week. We got a Lady Gaga cameo, and she was awesome. Okay, so I heard that the wedding that she sung at, you know, with the 2 people, they're getting married, and then she was like the wedding singer that was like part of the show. Apparently, it was a real wedding, and so the couple, I heard, was a Los Angeles couple actually, jokingly invited Bad Bunny to their wedding, and then they were like, okay, he's not gonna respond. And then he responded, and he was like, yo, how about you have your wedding here with me at the Super Bowl? And that was really cute. Apparently, this is also one of the highest viewed Super Bowls of all time, with around 125 million viewers globally. I think it was really cool that there was so much American heritage and culture showcased during such a huge cultural event such as the Super Bowl. Okay, and also Pedro Pascal was in the halftime show. I saw him inside the house. I friggin' freaked out. I love him. I love Pedro Pascal. I am a Star Wars nerd. I have loved him since Star Wars. So I just thought that was really cool. Okay, and next up, we got one more thing before we carry on to our interview. Okay, you guys know Pitbull, right? Like, Mr. Worldwide, Mr. 305, that guy. Like, you can take your boyfriend to me. Okay, I need to stop singing today. I don't know why I'm singing so much. Yeah, so basically he's doing the show at this place called Hyde Park. Okay, Hyde Park is in London, and it's a historically significant venue. Oh, okay, so like bands such as the Rolling Stones, Pink Floyd, Queen, Bruce Springsteen, Paul McCartney, Madonna have all played at Hyde Park. It has a capacity of 65,000 people. Wait, not 65,000. It has a capacity of 250,000 people. Oh my gosh, holy shit. So that is going to be a big concert, and Pitbull's headlining. And you know what he's trying to do? He's trying to break the world record for most bald caps worn at a concert, dude. I respect the hustle. If I could be there in London during his concert, I would friggin' be there. So shout out to Mr. Worldwide. I will be there in spirit. with my vocab. That concludes our web report today, and up next we got our interview. Hello and welcome to episode 2 of the SPIDERWEB, and here we have our special guest today. This is Dennis Hill.
Hi everybody.
He's a musician, songwriter, and producer. I'm super excited to have him on the show today.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course. First off, so what projects have you been a part of, and then how has that shaped you as a musician?
It's a long process, right?
Yeah.
Super old guy on episode 2. But I started out as a musician, songwriter at a real young age. And I guess primarily I was a guitar player at first.
Okay.
I wanted to be Randy Rhoads.
Sick.
Yeah,
Okay,
right?
yeah.
Just like, bam, loved all that. But then always grew up with like the Beatles and same old backstory as everybody else. But so I was a guitar player, and then we're doing other people's songs,
Okay.
you know, and then I kind of was like, I wanted to write my own songs, but I was never like the singer.
Yeah.
And so I always had like other singers, and you're trying to, you know, get the point across, so it was rough. So I kind of became the guy who sang the songs just so I could write my own songs. Okay. So then songwriting kind of became way more important to me than being a shredder, because I realized there's always someone better.
Yeah.
And then I just liked songs. So I did that, and then finally started my own band way back, like I think the first time I was a singer in a band was like 1988.
Okay, how old are you? You're like in your teens?
In 88, I was 21.
Oh, sick, okay.
26.
Yeah.
And so did that. Well, that band ended up getting a record deal on its second show.
Yeah. Was that the one at the Viper Room that you said?
No, that was the Poor Boys. That was my second band.
Okay, yeah.
So the Poor Boys, and it was Hollywood Records, which was a new record company back then, owned by Disney.
Okay, yeah.
And so we got signed, and then now you gotta write way more songs. I was like, I thought it was rad. You always think you're rad when you write your first 28 songs, 30 songs, whatever. And then it's like, oh wow, now you're going to be, you know, not competing, but you're going to be in a world with a lot of people who've been doing it way longer. So I really started to write more and more then, made a record, went out on tour with everybody, blah, blah, blah. We opened up for Bryan Adams, the Allman Brothers,
Okay.
Spin Doctors, a lot of bands of that time. And then that band ran its course. The label, we had people at the label change, and therefore you're not part of that regime anymore. You know, everybody wants to bring in their own talent.
Yeah.
And so we were dropped off of that label. Then I just went and wrote more and more songs, but now I started writing songs with other people.
Okay.
Right, because before that it was like me and like one other guy in the band, but then I became interested in the process. So you guys nowadays are way radder, because there's so much information, and you know, people on podcasts and things talking about it. So you guys really have a heads up. You can go look at the people from your era, and you can talk to them nowadays. It's really cool. And so it's like, I wanted to understand the process more. And that's what I did over the next, kind of 4 or 5 years. And at that point, now I'm writing like hundreds of songs a year.
Yeah.
Just realizing like, oh, wow. Because they're all cool, right? All songs are cool. It's just sort of like, what songs are you? Do you ever do that? You write songs that you think are for you, but you're like, oh, I want to hear someone else.
Yeah, it's like, wait, I think this song would be so good on this album. Or it's like, you were so deeply inspired by another album that it's like, was I writing this for me, or was I writing this because I kind of wanted to hear it from their side, I don't know.
100%.
Yeah.
Okay, so like, what if you could, right? Because you always go like, oh my gosh, if I could have one person do one of my songs, who would it be? Like something you wrote, who would you want to do it?
Who would I want on my track? Well, obviously, like the people who inspired me just in general to be a musician. So my answer is always Amy Lee from Evanescence, because she was like, she was a woman. I always talk about this, but she was a woman, and you didn't see a lot of women in rock, and kind of having that representation reminded me that I could be where she is one day. And then she's just a brilliant artist as well, not only musically, but she's also a good person, lyrically, and just that band is insane. I'm trying to see them again this year because they're playing at the Kia Forum. But I would love to have her on the track because
I could see that. And I could see because, right, like, she's definitely, like, gosh, her big song came out at the age, like, same distance as Revolver by the Beatles came out for me when I was a songwriter. But I could hear a lot of, like, I could see that working really well because you have such a powerful voice, and now knowing that, I could see that influence.
Yeah.
So that would really, it would work because it worked for you, you know what I mean? It's like, that's very cool, right? And it could happen.
Yeah, exactly.
Because they're having a resurgence, right? They're still, they're playing big places.
Yeah, they're for sure having a resurgence. Like, I felt like they stopped releasing music for a little bit, and then they did a re-recording of, like, the greatest hits, but in orchestral form, because they have a lot of orchestral music, like, in their metal music. And for a while, they didn't put out anything new, and then now they're starting to put out some new music with, like, other up-and-coming artists, and I'm really happy to see them, like, doing their thing again.
How rad would that be to just be able to have them cut winners? To me, that's what became more interesting than even being a performer. You're still in the performer stage of it, and it's killer. It's the best years. It's where you know, the craft and performing and how you talk to your audience, how you find an audience, how does an audience find you. It is my favorite time that I had in the career, but I do love that idea of, like, wow, what if I could have someone sing one of my songs?
Yeah, that'd be really cool.
It's, you know what I mean? It's the goal, and then it becomes like an addiction. Like, oh, I got them.
Yeah.
Now I want them.
Yeah.
I think that's really cool talking about that because it really is very interesting I guess I assumed because you reminded me of her when I heard this voice, because your voice is fucking rad.
Thank you.
It's just so, and it's like gonna go a lot of places. You're going with, like, a lot of what you do is a lot of what we all do is on our influences, right? And it's like, okay, I can't wait to hear what happens when you hit the jazz, when you hit, like, the jazz standards era. You know, like when you're like 40 years old or something.
Yeah.
Shit. It's just going to be very interesting. Your voice is going to take you, and your songwriting and playing is going to take you a lot of places. And it's just really, it's going to be awesome to watch that evolution.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate it.
It's inevitable too, right? Because for me, starting out, right, I'm, this very first thing that I did and the Poor Boys was that band, was very rock and roll at a time when rock and roll was, it came out in 91, 92.
Yeah.
The world was kind of really changing right then.
Yeah.
They don't really want, like, a Tom Petty Aerosmith anymore. There's Nirvana. It was great. I loved that too.
Yeah.
Because I love power pop. To me, that was a power pop band.
Yeah.
They just wrote great power pop songs.
Yeah.
And then, so I've always loved that too. Everybody's favorite band is Cheap Trick.
Yeah.
In that area. And even those dudes, I think had a big affinity for Cheap Trick. And it's like, we just simple song, that's the Beatles, really. Beatles, Cheap Trick, you follow the lines. But then my next band was super power pop. I was trying to write songs that were like, that said a lot and we're done in like 2.5 to 3 minutes.
Yeah.
And have aggression and blah, blah, blah. That was the second band. Well, then that band got signed to Interscope Records. That was at the Viper Room.
Yeah, because you said someone just walked in, they were like, yo, these guys are good, and then I'm going to sign them.
It was Tom Wally was the guy who was then at Interscope. He later went to Warner Brothers. And he was cool. He was like, we finished playing our, like, 3 or 4 songs, and the door to Sunset Boulevard opened. It was still daytime out, but he thought it was nighttime. And the door opened, and the light came in, and then he'd already come up to me. I'm sorry. He came up and said, hey, tell your guys to call me. I'll give you guys a deal. And then the door opened up, and he walked out. Then my manager came up to me, and he's like, what do you say? I said, he said he'd give us the deal. And then he ran out the door. And it was just like that. So then that band called Lefty was on Interscope. And again, we toured with a lot of people. Weezer, the Foo Fighters, Blink-182, Warped Tour, 2 or 3 years in a row. Yeah. And then we met a lot of other bands of that era. The Phoenix TX, Good Charlotte, Newfound Glory, Sugar Cult. You know what I mean? Probably more bands than you know. But then I started writing with some of those guys, and we all like played on each other's albums or sang on each other's albums. It was a really fun time of that era right there. And then from there, I went into country pretty quickly after that band.
Yeah.
I'd stopped playing. I disbanded. It was my band. I disbanded it and started a home improvement business.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Because my daughter had started walking when I was on the road, and I was like, that I need to be there more. And then we had 2 sons after that. But so in 2004, I was really writing and doing more country and going down to Nashville every 3 months. And then that's kind of, so now I live in this real combined world because I mostly listen to, well, I'm still a rock and roll guy. Yeah. And I love all the new alternative kind of things that everybody's doing. It's really cool. But then I still like old country, and, you know, for what it's worth, I like so much of the country that's out there is really spawning off into so many cool, like, micro genres. Yeah. And that, you know, I love all that too. So still write, produce, and then I play in a band called Face to Face, which is an old punk rock band, which is bizarre, and I've been doing that since 2009, and so that's kind of, that's where we're at now.
Okay, cool, awesome. So
that was a long way to get there, Madison.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I've heard so many artists that they spend like 10 years kind of trying to work their way up, and then finally when they're like, oh, this is the place I want to be, it's like 10, 15 years later.
Right? This, I don't know if it was Kevin Lyman, or it might have been Kevin Lyman started the Warped Tour. I think it was him. And he used to always say, it takes 10 years to make an overnight success.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so obviously you've been a part of a lot of projects, a lot of bands, and they've been really successful. So what is your trick to kind of hold a band together and create that really great band chemistry that makes great music? Because you can't make good music without having great band chemistry, right? Or what's your take on that?
No, I mean, how do you say it? I guess I haven't really had a band that's been together for a decade. Yeah. Right? Like I've had these, you know, you write the songs, you have the band guys, and then, it changes or people change or whatever. But I will say that Face to Face, which is now the longest thing that I've been a part of, it's very interesting because, you know, they had their tumultuous times and changes of members. Yeah. But I think that the thing that really makes that work now for me and the guys is everybody's older, everybody's like very respectful, and you know, about what everybody does in the band. Everybody gives their space. You can kind of feel the room more. Yeah. Maybe it's just getting older, but I think that's what respecting the other players and what everybody's contributing. That's obviously one way to keep a band together. Yeah. I shared publishing even though I was the songwriter. Okay. In Lefty, I was like, one way to keep a band together is do that. And then a lot of people said that was like not a great move, and I was like, maybe it wasn't in a business sense, but for me it was like, how can you do that? Like if, you know, you're the writer, and so if you're writing these songs and essentially producing them and all that stuff too, how do you keep everybody, you know, vested? You know, it's hard.
Yeah, because everybody in a band is an artist. You know, there's no one person like, you know, more artist than the other.
More artist.
Exactly. Yeah.
But there are the players, right? Like, you know, like people that are just like even some guitar players like don't necessarily write, but like, you know, they got guitar players are noodlers for the most part, and that's where the riffs come from. So I guess that's where you get, for some of these guitar players slide in, you know, as writers, not really, you know. But then of course a lot of them got like, well, I want to do that more, so I'm gonna learn the craft more.
Exactly.
Not saying everybody, I'm saying for a lot of part, but everybody is a contributor. If you want someone that is just a great guitar player, but they're not interested in writing, how do you keep them in the band without having them go, long as I get the 2-minute guitar solo in the song or whatever? shit.
Yeah. So, what do you think your favorite music memory is of all time? It's such a vague question, I know, but like, what do you think is, or moment in time, like period of time where you're like, wow, this is just like where I wanted to be, this is what I wanted to accomplish, you know, and I'm like, I'm living in it.
It's so hard, but I think it is when you're definitely like doing a whole body of work, like in the form of a record, you know. So I guess having a record deal and then being in that moment and then being able to have friends come in and contribute parts from other bands, that's always a real special one. And then just being on stage with different people's, it's crazy. When we toured with Bryan Adams, he would do this encore and he would have like this boxing ring thing in the back, right, where he would come out and do that. And he invited us every night. I would come out and sing songs with him, whether it be like, you know, a Stone song or one of his songs. And that was incredible. And this is like no cell phones or anything like that.
Yeah.
Right? So there's like, I think at one point I'd seen some VHS footage of it. And I'm like, oh man, I wish there was way more of that. But doing that and then going and playing on other people's albums and just becoming friends. I always say this. This whole journey, the friendships you make, that is the biggest takeaway.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
It's insane. You know, and I see how you guys doing it now. You guys are very more aware that you guys are in the moment. It's like, oh, I'm gonna do gigs with people that I like, even if we're way different genre of music. Yeah, it's fucking
like
rad.
Michael. I love Michael.
Right, like
by the way, I'm plugging Michael Hill, which is his daughter, and she's a singer-songwriter, and I've done acoustic sets with her, and she's just insanely talented. So you should stream her stuff. I'm gonna put her info right here, but stream Michael Hill, yeah, and she's singer-songwriter. Pop. She reminds me of a lot. She's like Taylor Swift. Do you think? Like, what do you think she's most inspired by?
Well, Taylor Swift was her Amy.
Yeah.
Right? Like that was, you know, at a young age. But then I think all the other influences come in there. I definitely. There's a lot of newer ones. Definitely, there's always the Casey Musgraves because she doesn't have a really big voice. You know, she's like more of a Karen Carpenter, like a mellow voice. And so, like, I hear a lot of those kind of things, but God, she's just loving this Haley so damn much. Yeah. Formerly at Paramore.
I love Haley Williams, too.
Do you like all this new body of work? It's insane.
Her new stuff, I haven't listened to as much. I love her debut album and then Riot. Those are my two favorite albums, like her early 2000s stuff.
But
she's a huge inspiration for me, especially since, I don't know, her style of voice is so unique, and that kind of, like...
Yeah.
I was like, hey, I want to be like that.
And she's a big voice too, I think, you know. I think she's a big voice and a big performer. But yeah, so Mike gets a little of that, but it's like, it's weird just being a guitar player kind of dude. And that thing is like, oh, I get to check out so much more like cool stuff. I'm like, oh, I dig. There's so many great players.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. There's always been great players, but I just like a lot of what I get to do in different situations.
Yeah.
I remember you asked me like, you need a fill-in for a gig, and I was like, oh, I don't even know if I can play this aggressive anymore. It's rad because it's all go, and I'm like, oh, can I do that? It's so rad. But I love these opportunities.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know why you guys would want old people.
Oh, because you're so talented, you're so good. That's
people.
why.
It's like Congress and everything else. We gotta get rid of all the old people. Rock and roll? Or everybody retire? What if it's just like that? Oh yeah, no more old people. Actually, not rock and roll. We got to work well into our senior lives.
Yeah, because they're all like the veterans, you know, and they're like, they kind of built rock.
And there's no retirement plan. You guys will see there's no retirement. So it's like, man, once you're in, you're in.
Yeah.
You know, just because you love it, you don't know what else. You know? I branched off into a lot of other things like film and television and all that, but rock and roll is still, you know, minus the 3 years of home improvement business.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't have a guitar or anything. I got rid of everything.
Okay.
I retired, and then my wife really did not like that guy, and so they got me an acoustic guitar. Her and some of my buddies from a band got together and got a guitar for her birthday, and then I started playing.
Music kind of called you back, you know, like you can't escape your passions, right?
You're just right. You're a lifer. Once you realize that, like, that's what makes you tick, you're a lifer.
Yeah.
That's it.
So I know a lot of our viewers are, you know, budding musicians and people try to make their way in the industry and then create new music. So if you could go back in time and then tell either you and your first band or like you right before you started doing music, a piece of advice, what would you tell them?
It's funny, right? Because it used to be there were like guards.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, you get to hear, but there's all the same damn wolves.
Yeah.
Right? All these people, the bookers who make you sell tickets and all, there's so many of these people. They've always been there and they just never seem to go away. And they're sort of somehow a gatekeeper.
Yeah.
But I will tell you, once you meet the people that really dig you, and there are those people that dig you, and they really start taking a chance, and you know, you build up your following, not so that you could sell tickets, you know, to be one of 4 bands that sell this many tickets to maybe put money in your pocket, which isn't even the goal.
Yeah.
The goal is to meet people and have people dig what you do, right?
Exactly, yeah.
So once you meet these promoters, or once they find you, once you build up enough where they have you on, that's a rad benchmark.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be there. All you wolves are always gonna be there, but there's some great promoters, and they're still there in places, and I wish I could tell you, but that is a great benchmark. And then the fact that you all get to make your own music without going and spending $100,000 now.
Yeah.
So rad, you know, and it's like, how do you get people to find that, right? So there used to be the gatekeepers over there, and then you get a record deal. Now the gatekeeper, it's the other way. Now you guys go out and you create all these followers, and then somebody comes and then wants to sign you, and you're like, why would I really actually even need that?
Yeah.
You could have like way less people that really did what you're doing now, and be able to do what you do and have people that dig it and spread it slowly. I think that's what we're going to see in the next few years, is maybe like more focus on, like, you know, I want to say Patreon or these things, but something to that effect where people go like, yeah, you know, I'm going to give you like $20 for your album, you know, and maybe the streamers, maybe something vast has to change there.
Yeah.
So that everybody can actually make a fair amount. For singers, songwriters, everybody involved. I don't know how music is the kick around. It's like it's used more than anything. Like you talk about commercials, films, television shows. Music is such a narrative.
Yeah.
Right? They'll be playing scenes where the music is just telling you exactly what this character feels.
Yeah.
But yet you don't, as far as, you know, songwriters and musicians, you're not monetized that well for that.
Yeah.
Which is a major part of these things. I'm hoping that really in that streaming thing, that streamers have to come to grips and pay their share.
Yeah.
Or something. But maybe it's like everything else, and maybe the model just goes to, like, I go to your website and I give you $20 for your album or whatever, or I go like, oh shit, I wonder what MADiSON's doing, and you know, by you posting your content, added value and otherwise, it's like, oh, maybe people start doing more of that, and it's like, oh, well, they made those videos, well, I should throw them like $10 this month.
Yeah.
Maybe it comes more like that. I don't know, but it's just a lot better than 0.003 cents or whatever that is.
Exactly. Like I heard someone say, I forgot who it was, I think it was a producer, but this producer was talking with some artists, and he said basically nowadays you have to be an influencer on top of being a musician to make it. How do you feel about that?
It's another layer to, I guess, what the industry is becoming, right? Like now you have to be a personality or an actor, it's in some sense of the word, or some kind of, you say influencers, like, oh, you know, is it for music gear? Is it another part of your lifestyle that you know, whatever that is? It's another layer. Is that bad? I don't know. Maybe there is something to the amount of available content of getting to know your favorite artists. That's kind of cool in this day and age. And then there's something that's gone with the what do you want? The mystery of, you know, my favorite artist just destroys hotel rooms and then raises kittens. That's all I know about my favorite, whatever the hell it is.
Yeah. Getting to know them on a different level through social media is kind of cool. But it's just like social media is so important being an artist. It's like you can't be an artist without social media nowadays, you know?
I watch you guys.
Yeah.
You write your song in the privacy of your bedroom, you record the songs, however you guys get them done, you record them, and then it's like, gotta have the content, the social media, and it's not just gonna be, now it's not like just one item, right? You guys are like creative and maybe it's just going to make so many great marketing opportunities for you guys.
For sure.
Because you guys are all learning so many things. And then you guys got to learn about like disbursements, like, oh, I got to sound exchange, you know, oh, this is where the mechanicals come from. This is my streaming money. There's my publishing money. Oh, wait, I have a sync opportunity.
Okay.
Right? It's like all, and now there's a bunch of wolves in that world too coming out. Like, I want in perpetuity that song forever, and for that I get you no promises.
Yeah.
Dude, yeah. But I would say publishers are still a great thing for young artists.
Yeah.
If you can find a publisher that's in you, publishers are the last great frontier of developing artists.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, for sure.
I do still
Because
believe
they like
in
kind of reach another platform, right?
and
It's like there's a different level.
a publisher would be able to perhaps fulfill the dream of writing with Amy.
Yeah,
Because the publisher
exactly.
going, I got this young up and comer, and then Amy goes, I love her, and then it's like, oh, I want to co-write with her, and you're all, they want to co-write with you, and you're all like, I got nothing.
Yeah. So cool. Well,
Pretty rad.
yeah. Do you have any things you want to promote or any other upcoming projects that people should keep an eye out for?
There's a lot of stuff coming out this year that I've been working on. Oh, right, you're always a year later almost. And so like Trevor Keats, we did background vocal. I just kind of produced background vocals on that. Scott Chiflett, the guitar player, face page, finishing up his solo album. Michael Hill, The Project, Thaddeus Gonzalez. I don't know how long that one will take. I'm trying to think of some different Good Man Down, which was my old band, is starting to release. We're gonna do Waterfall.
Oh yeah,
Because we made records. We made one record that came out. We had 2 records in the can. Band disbanded. Couldn't really figure out. It was really got mixed up making 2 records at once.
Yeah.
Might release some of those songs, so I'm excited about that. That one coming out. California Sunsets. Always we did an album and then we just do kind of singles as they come to us now.
Yeah.
And that's me and Nathan Walker, just a drummer and a guitar player. And I'm trying to think what else. Yeah, I don't really promote well, and I don't do social media very well either.
Yeah.
That, and I'm offering remote recording services.
Yes. Okay.
So if you need
guys
like
need recording, hit him up. Yeah. I'm gonna plug his information here. So yeah.
I was thinking about trying one of these sound betters, which is a trippy one too, like for someone like you.
I've used Sound Better before.
You have?
Yeah.
How is it?
It's like have you been on Fiverr?
Yeah.
It's the same thing. It's just like, hey, I need a guitar part for this bridge.
Copy that.
And then you literally search up like guitar.
Like
guitarists,
your genre.
Yeah. And then they have like preview videos and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's really handy. It's super quick.
I didn't realize you'd used it. That's killer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I figured that might be a nice one to try. I just went out on Instagram, and so many people said so many sweet things that I've worked with in the past, but no young singer-songwriters hit me up and said, dude, play bass or guitar.
No, if you go on Sound Better and Fiverr, you're for sure going to get traction.
I should try
You're
it.
reputable and you have a great portfolio and
I've done a lot of recordings, though, thousands of songs.
Cool.
Get me on Instagram.
Of course. Here's his Instagram right here. Well, yeah, I think that's all we have for today. Thank you so much for joining us.
Well,
oh my gosh.
Much luck doing this.
Yeah.
Again,
of course.
the things you got to do.
Yeah.
But it's great. This is so cool.
Yeah.
Right? It's like opportunities for the future and everything.
Yeah.
You're going to become like a talk show host.
Yes. Oh my gosh. That would be so much fun.
Well,
yeah.
Madison.
Thank you so much for having me.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, of course. All right, that was really awesome. Again, I want to give a huge thank you to Dennis for coming on the show and having such a great talk. Well, up next, we got our 3 features, and again, we got some nonstop bangers, and we're going to open up with a really strong song. This first song is called Animosity by Calliope Wren. And let's read a little bit about her. All right, so Calliope Wren is not just the voice, she's a siren. Blending the theatricality of her music theater roots with the raw intensity of metalcore and alt-rock, Calliope crafts songs that feel like spells, pulling listeners into a ritual of release and rebirth. Raised on the fire of Paramore and the soul of Demi Lovato, her music balances vulnerability with fury, softness with grit. After studying musical theater at Five Towns College under David Krasner, she began carving her own path, performing at iconic venues like the Spotlight, at the Paramount, the Bitter End, Rainbow Chapin Stage, Jones Beach Bandshell, and the Montauk Music Festival. With her band, The Muses, Calliope channels goddess archetypes, weaving myth, moonlight, and metal into an immersive experience. Calliope Wren stands at the edge of vulnerability and chaos, daring you to step inside of her world. So let's get into Animosity by Calliope Wren.
And don't try and talk to me, I got animosity. Right, I pull myself together knowing I can never make another night. Oh, how you bled me dry. I know we said forever, but forever turned to never over time. And like the beat of a drum, my heart is going faster. Watch this turn into disaster. Now I'm numb, feel like a pendulum, back and forth directions. This is not a misconception. Hate all the ways that you push me away, and you cry cause I started to change. I hate all the times that you push me aside. Promises have to die. Don't try and talk to me, I got animosity. Don't tell me that you can't really change. I know what it's like to shift in motion. I still can't see where I'm going. And don't try and stop me, I got animosity. Is this your tale of woe? You pull yourself together knowing I can make it better, but I won't. If I could let this go, I'd be the bigger person, but I like it when you're hurting. Is that too heinous of me? My heart is going faster, watch this turn into disaster. Now I'm free, feel like eventually we could all agree together, so not meant to be. Hate all the ways that you push me away, and you cry cause I started to change. I hate all the times that you push me aside. Promises have to die. Don't try and talk to me, I got animosity. Don't tell me that you can't really change. I know what it's like to shift in motion. I still can't see where I'm going. And don't try and stop me, I got animosity. Is this the feeling of satisfaction? I do it all just to get a reaction. Don't try and talk to me, I got animosity. Don't tell me that you can't really change. I know what it's like to shift in motion. I still can't see where I'm going. I got animosity, I got animosity.
Okay, that was an insanely good song. Oh my gosh. We really started off with such a strong, powerful song. And that is true. She is a siren. She was pulling me in with her magical spell. I really love the really cool alt rock vibes going on. I could definitely hear some Paramore in there. I really love her tone. I could also pull from her musical theater experience. I am also a musical theater kid, guys. And a lot of my singing techniques came from learning musical theater songs, because musical theater songs, especially for a mezzo-soprano like me, are nothing but difficult. And that really trained my voice to a point, and I could tell that she has that training with her voice. And the chorus was super catchy. That chorus is gonna be stuck in my head like for a long time. I got animosity. Oh my gosh, really good. I love the bridge also. The bridge was really cool. It just broke down and kind of let the song breathe, and it was just entrancing, and again, like a spell. And then it comes back into like the driving chorus and that driving power of that song. So again, thank you, Calliope. That was an amazing song. Up next, we got a really cool song by Loucielago called Ernest Hemingway's Dead, which is true, he is dead. Let's read a little bit about Loucielago before we jump into their music. Queer dumpster fire fueled by delusion. Aside from my main gig showing the Waffle House, I make post-punk music for people who experience intense emotions all the time. Society shuns the ugly parts, what makes us human, but that's no way to live. I'm hellbent on pouring out my honest self in my music, no matter how messy it gets, because people with extreme feelings of guilt, self-hatred, or grief don't need to feel more alienated than they already do. I've spent more than half my life battling mental illness and suicidality, but I couldn't have made it this far without music. Hearing Lil Peep Nirvana in the 1975 sing so much of what I went through brought me immense comfort, knowing I wasn't the only one. It stopped being Loucielago versus the world. It became Loucielago and Kurt Cobain versus the world. Creating music is my lifeblood. Sharing it is my passion. To stand with you against the world is my devotion. Loucielago, aka your mom's guilty pleasure. I love that. So yeah, this song is called Ernest Hemingway's Dead by Loucielago. That was a an amazing song. I'm gonna be honest, I usually don't have music like this chill on the show. I usually review more heavy stuff, but this song was just so good. I literally could not help myself, and I could totally pull from that alt rock inspiration from that 90s grunge, and that's especially why I wanted to have it here, is because, you know, it was all those good things from like bedroom pop and also 90s grunge and also alt rock that just kind of came together into this beautiful thing. The production was amazing. The synths and guitar, how they collided, were awesome. I really liked that beginning riff and then how that reoccurred throughout the song with synths and then also added effects. Really cool. It's such a strong theme, and I really enjoyed that. The vibe was just super chill and awesome, and it was like, it carried that chill vibe, but it also carried so much emotion and drive and power. And you know it's a good song when it sounds chill when you first start listening to it, and then you're like, holy shit, like this song is just, it's like a train, you know. It just kept on rolling through, and I could really feel those emotions with this song. It's very dynamic. I love the vocals. The main vocals is super great, and then I know there were some background vocals, and those were awesome as well. Overall, very great song. Please stream Loucielago. And we have one more for you today. This one is called Promises by a band called Hell Hotel. Let's read a little bit about Hell Hotel. Hell Hotel is a dynamic emo/alternative rock duo hailing from Brighton, UK. Drawing inspiration from the early 2000s emo and alternative rock icons like The Used, Taking Back Sunday, and Paramore, as well as contemporary artists such as Holding Absence and Casey, they offer a fresh twist on nostalgic genres. Formed in September 2023 from a mutual passion for alternative music, Hell Hotel serves as a new creative outlet for the duo, unexplored in their previous projects. Their debut single, Smile, set for release in February 2024, catapults them onto the scene with its fast-paced emo intensity, showcasing the band's energetic style. With contrasting harsh and emotive vocals, the track sets the stage for soaring melodic instrumentation, embracing the band's nostalgic influences. Thematically, Smile delves into the destructive dynamic of trauma-bonded relationships, highlighting the ease of self-sabotage over making beneficial changes for mental health. You guys should stream those songs. Those ones are also really great. But this next one is called Promises. Let's take a listen.
Shattered, I just wanna feel something.
Oh yeah, this song is friggin' great. That intro just really pulled me in with those synths and then that gentle guitar riff, and then it just kind of slammed into like one big thing. I love the vocals. I could definitely again hear the Paramore. I'm loving the Paramore vibe today. Like, you can never get enough of Paramore. I love it here. A little bit of Riot, and then also a little bit of All We Know Is Falling, which is my I don't know, actually. I don't have a favorite Paramore album, but it really got me into their early stuff. That was their debut album, and it's so emotional again, and it's so riff driven, and that's how I felt with this song. But it also gave me a lot of modern metalcore vibes. Like, I heard in their bio, a lot of their inspiration was from Holding Absence. I heard a lot of The Plot in You. If you guys have heard The Plot in You, they have a really great song called Left Behind. They're also like a good fusion between like alt rock metalcore. Plot in You is definitely on the heavier side, but it also carries that melodicism of alt rock pop punk, and I could totally hear that in this band. Yeah, I really enjoyed the instrumentation. It was so lush and thick, and everything was just really well thought out, and I love this song so much. Anyways, that was our last feature of the day, and that concludes episode 2 of the Spiderweb. Thank you guys so much for being here. Again, if you haven't streamed my music, and if you want to look at some updates coming up, because I do got some stuff coming up, you can follow me at Venomous Violet on Instagram, TikTok, and here on my YouTube channel. If you're watching on my YouTube channel, if you're watching on New Bands New Music, thank you so much for being here. I also want to shout out New Bands New Music for having me on their channel. This has been a blast. Yeah, so if you want what's coming up next with MADiSON ViOLETT, please don't forget to shoot me a follow and shoot some likes on this video. Anyways, that's all of me today. Thank you guys, and bye.